ECB just out with its policy statement saying that it will now keep rates on hold through the end of 2019 instead of just through the summer. Also launching a new round of cheap lending to try and stimulate the economy earlier than had been anticipated. We're going to be watching closely at 8:30 when Mario Draghi begins speaking to see just how much the ECB slashed its growth outlook for this year and beyond. Taking a look at currency right now, you can see what's been happening there. Let's join Steve Liesman right now for some more context on all of this. Steve, how should we read this?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is you could take a look at the euro for context, which has been bouncing around, but now is substantially down lower. If you got a nice, there you go. That's the chart that shows the context that it is a weakening the euro as really, the ECB jumps in certainly with one foot and maybe with two back into the idea of stimulating the economy. There are two pieces to this, Becky, as you read. One is they're extending their guidance. That's the old forward guidance, you remember, from the Federal Reserve that they've now moved away from. ECB back in with this kind of extended forward guidance. They had it in the summer that they keep their rates low until the summer. Now they've extended that to the end of 2019. And then back in with these TLTROs, which essentially are providing long-term loans to banks. It's kind of a QE. It's kind of not a QE. It's more of a way to get banks to incentivize them to lend to businesses and consumers. And I believe this is probably the best explanation for a bit of a turnaround in the Dow futures this morning. They were down 70, 80. They've now come back. And as you said earlier, we're looking for how much Draghi and the ECB are downgrading the economy. There's some talk about whether or not they were going to do a full Monty downgrade, I guess is the best way to put it, and go all the way down to say, to a 1% handle on the growth outlook for the euro area this year, or go part of the way there. But certainly Italy has been negative 2 quarters in a row. Germany negative 1 quarter and call it flat the other. And France actually has been the leading light in Europe these days, at least from a GDP perspective. But a lot of troubles in Europe. And honestly, guys, it's not just Europe. It really affects our economy over here. And part of the reason why the Fed is on pause and part of the reason why the downgrades to the U.S. economy this year is because of what's happening over in Europe.